we need better openers.
I got a question for you, Mr. E.
That's so good.
This actually perfectly segues into peacocking. Can you talk? Because I would say you're the person that popularized a lot of these terms. Actually, what is peacocking? How can people go about it in today's day and age, and why is it so important?
Okay, well, it's not going away. We'll start there. Peacocking refers to a man wearing outrageous clothing, not outrageous, just unique clothing that is maybe a bit cumbersome, like the plume of a peacock's tail. He dresses outlandishly, colorfully, like a peacock, in order to stand out and convey some social status in doing so. Like, for instance, the man who wears a fur coat in the club, or in my case, a faux fur coat. You know, this is unreal, right? That's peacocking. Peacocking also includes those who wear tattoos. All tattoos are peacocking. Women, there are millions and millions and millions of women on the planet who have tattoos. They're all peacocking. That's all built in peacocking. This here, I've got gauges, peacocking. I've got this. This is adding to the peacocking, right? Even this item here that I'm wearing, you know, carrying this thing here, you can see on the back. It's a unique look. It's peacocking.
Gotcha.
So it's not going away. People who stand out, women do it especially well. And when you go to a mall, you'll see they have so many clothing options, but men have less clothing options. That's why we need to get creative.
Yeah.
Stand out. It takes more social savvy because, you know, when I paint my nails black, people are going to say, why do you paint your nails black? Right? So you have to get used to the social, you know, the heightened social, what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Social what? Social pressures?
Okay, yeah.
Pressures, it's a good enough word.
I want to say
for those interactions, yeah.
I was gonna say when I watched, and it's crazy. I remember this almost 20 years later. When I watched the show, I remember you would wear boots that made you taller, the goggles, the hats, the snowboard goggles, etc. And if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong. You generally recommend that every man, when they go out and they're trying, running game, to have at least one piece of peacocking clothing item, whether it's a necklace, maybe jewelry or something like that. Do you think that they should still have one piece, or should they have more nowadays to stand out in a very competitive dating marketplace with the internet around and social media? How should men go about peacocking in today's day and age?
Well, the idea of wearing one is to say to people, wear at least one interesting item, and it could be a necklace, so that if a woman wants to approach you, you're giving her an open invitation to by her saying, oh, that's really nice.
Bam.
What is that? Where'd you get that? And that is an indicator of interest. So really what you're doing is you're eliciting IOIs by peacocking.
Gotcha.
So I'll wear faux fur, and anyone else, any girl who wears fur will hug me. It's like the fur club. Try it. You'll see. It works. We've got lots of footage, infield footage examples of me running around Las Vegas in a fur coat. And while it looks ostentatious, it really drew a crowd. It allowed people to come in, meet me, interact with me, hug me, touch my fur, right? Ask if it's real. And I say it's unreal. Or do you know how many polyesters died for this coat? So I have my sound bites that are connected with my peacock gear. And you should have sound bites ready to respond to when they ask you about your necklace. It should be more interesting than I bought it at the mall.
Yep.
Yep. Mall. Much better than that is needed, right?
But even more powerful if you have two girls on your arm and you're peacocked.
Yep. Yeah, huge demonstration.
Rockstar status.
Yep.
That's right. And if they're peacock too, and you look like you're, in the same band, even better.
I would argue it starts online nowadays with Instagram. So girls peacock in different
No,
ways.
for you maybe. You didn't get to the party in the Hollywood Hills, did you? You missed out, man. You missed the party.
Well,
You stayed home, didn't you?
I was gonna
You stayed
segue.
home and you could have gone to the party.
I was gonna segue. So Instagram starts the party off for me. The girls come
Fair.
from DMs. Then we go to the party. Even more girls show up. And from the very beginning, they saw the lifestyle. They're like, oh, this is fun. This guy's fun. I want to be around him. We meet up at the party. We get more girls to join our party, and then from there we have a great time. That's how I see it, at least.
Now that's level 4 game. You're
Yeah.
playing social circle game. That's great.
Mm.
You know, but let's not be disappointed if you're new to a city and you don't know anyone and you go to a club and he's got all the girls. That's you. You've got all the girls and he's got none. And he'll say, oh, how unfair, when he didn't do the work. So you got to start somewhere in a new city. And you start with the 3 set. You just go to a public gathering, open the first set on the left, build a solid base. And then from there, you can open adjacent sets, work your night, merging sets as you get to know who's potentially single.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do that
Yeah.
every boot camp. We have to touch down. We go there a day or two before. We do a recce around the area. And then by the end of the long weekend on boot camp, we have our own social circle there.
Bam.
And we have bittersweet goodbyes. You know, we have to leave the city. We have to go to the next city. And we have to say goodbye to the new girlfriends we've made. It's bittersweet.
Damn.
Let me ask you
Yeah.
this, Mystery. We talked a bit about indicators of interest, aka IOIs. What are some of the most common IOIs that guys miss? Because there's so many times where girls are giving guys hints. Guys might not have the social calibration or skill set to be able to identify these IOIs and make a move or escalate, right? Or they're scared to escalate because they don't see them. What are some common IOIs that guys miss?
Well, I think that you don't have to kiss the girl in C1. You don't have to.
Mhm.
You can say to her, expect nothing but great conversation in order to get the contact exchange. And then you preserve her comfort so that you can see her on a date 2 rather than kissing her too soon and she gets buyer's remorse.
Mhm.
So it all depends on her whether you're going to kiss her in C1 or in C2, or you're going to again wait until C3 where you're in a private location and that's the first time you're kissing. But you should have some kino escalation. You can't kiss her if she's uncomfortable holding your hand, right?
Mhm.
So you have to do an escalation ladder, certainly. What was the question exactly, though? I was just giving a background.
IOIs that guys often miss from women, and they're and that are a little bit more subtle. We've talked about like some common ones, like touching her hair, looking up at you, laughing at your jokes, touching you, maybe scratching your arm like this. But what are some other ones that guys often miss?
Well, they could be mirroring and matching you as well.
Okay. Can you explain what mirroring is real fast for the audience?
Yeah, when they're literally copying, if say they're sitting in front of you, they're copying what you're doing. You fold your arms, they fold your arms. You lean back, they lean back. You cross your legs, they cross their legs.
Mhm.
So you can mirror match and then start leading it if you see that they're doing that as well.
Gotcha. So
You can force IOIs as well.
how do you go about that?
There's many ways, but say that you're the other side of the bar, across a long bar,
Mhm.
and you don't want to go round and talk and it's loud and so on. You want to test it first. So one is called the peekaboo. So you just go like that, and then they look. If they mirror and match, then the game is afoot. They're interested. They're playing along. You know.
Okay.
What was funny when you were 5 is funny again, and it just shows a different level of playfulness. That you're different. You've caught their eye.
Gotcha.
And it tells you where they're at with you.
Rob,
And then you can go straight in.
how important is eye contact when it comes to getting the first approach?
Well, I think it's good, but we go in without eye contact as well, you know. So
Yeah,
either way,
we generally go in without eye contact prior to the approach.
Mhm.
You just approach the set and engage. You know, it's over the shoulder stuff too. Hey guys, quick question. First time they see you, they see your faces with a smile. Hey guys, quick question. Right? And then you stack to any type of opener. So
I got a
You don't
and
question.
you
need-
can't get blown out that way over the shoulder.
I got a
Yeah,
quick
you're not
question
even
for you
in
guys.
back.
you just mentioned something there that brought back some memories. So the over the shoulder, right? You were really big, and this is something to this day I still use and I still talk about. If I cold approach a girl, I'm never standing right in front of her. I always have my body bladed as if I'm about to leave, and potentially set up like a false time constraint or whatever. And I learned that from you, actually, Mystery. Can you talk about the importance of when you approach a girl, you don't want it where you're directly in front of her and might make her feel intimidated, but you also want to kind of let her know that, hey, this interaction isn't going to last long. I think a lot of guys kind of mess this up and they make themselves almost too available, where the girl doesn't know if you're going to sit there and try to talk to her for 3 hours, or she doesn't know if you're going to leave. Can you talk about the importance of like blading your body a certain way? You just did the over the shoulder one real fast. Little subtle things like this, how it makes a big difference.
Sure. I use it maybe 20% of the time in a night. I'll do over the shoulder a couple times in a night, certainly. But it's important to note that what we've just structured here is a hypothetical situation of me approaching a girl. Women of beauty are rarely alone.
True.
They're usually in groups. So if we're going to fantasize repeatedly, instead of fantasizing and practicing and training and preparing for some future event where she's alone, we're not going to be meeting girls alone. That's so rare. They're usually with beautiful girls as well. They're usually with guys. Mixed sets, believe it or not, are approachable. They're approachable. They're lucrative. I've gotten girlfriends from mixed sets. You can be given the girl by the guys. They just bow down to you having a connection with her that they didn't have. They can give you the girl if they like you. So you have to win over the entire set. So it's really all about group theory.
Yeah.
Less about single approach theory, which is what the scenario is constructing.
I got a question for you, because I think this is something that actually trips a lot of guys up. They'll see a group of girls and a group of guys and they'll be scared to approach. How can someone go about approaching a mixed set without necessarily, I guess, because I think people, what guys are afraid of is getting rejected, potentially getting attacked by the males in a group. They don't know what the social dynamics are, etc. How can someone go about opening up a mixed set?
Well, there's two major schools of thought in pickup. It's not just day game and night game. It's single approach theory versus group theory, right? Day game, by the way, usually is single approach theory game, right? There's also two schools of thought. There's the verses of direct and indirect. There's direct game where you are opening in seduction, basically. To me, that's an error. And then there's the far more it gives you far greater maneuverability. It's far more powerful, in my opinion, and that's opening indirect. And that's the indirect school of thought. So opening a group of people, if one of the people in the group is the woman of interest's father, for instance, well, then you're going to have to win over the father, right? For instance, my 17-year-old daughter has a boyfriend, and he's totally won me over. I think it's a wonderful match, a wonderful union. He comes over and hangs out, and he's a part of the family now. So, he didn't just pick her up, he picked me up too. That's group theory.
Yeah, the importance of getting, I remember when I used to do a lot of cold approach back in the day, and there were guys in the set. What I would do, and I want to get your take on this, I would actually go up to the guys kind of on the side. I'd be like, hey, look, man, that girl in there, that girl right there, she's pretty hot. I just want to make sure I'm not stepping on no toes. Is that your girlfriend or whatever? And what I've noticed is when you get permission from the guys in the group, or you talk to the guy that seems to be the leader of the group, and you kind of speak with him first, he'll tell you, oh yeah, no, she's single, man, or oh no, that's my girl, but this one is single. Like, since so many guys don't have that social awareness to do that, they'll almost throw you at the girl sometimes because that girl might be cock blocking someone else or annoying them. So it's amazing how, like, sometimes just starting a conversation with that guy and being polite and like trying to ascertain what's going on, they'll actually help you out a lot of the times. That's what I've noticed. Very rarely they'll say, fuck out of here.
I like it. It's got legs. Yeah. I like it. And it reminds me it's a gambit. You know, it's a sound bite that you use, but it's an actual gambit in order to find out the information you're looking for, right? Another gambit is, and one that I am now going to, we talked about earlier that I'm going to give you, is how do you sit at a table that you haven't bought a bottle at? Here's how. You open a two-set of women, you win them over, you get into lock-in position so that you can lean back and have them join you for a bit. You build enough comfort so you can then say to them, let's go make some friends, which is moving the set. Come on, let's go make some friends. And you walk over to the first guy that has a bottle, and you say, hey, these girls wanted to meet you. So you're sitting at his table, he gives your girl a drink, he gives you a drink, he gives the other girl a drink. He also splits your two-set because you can't isolate in a two-set. He occupies the obstacle for you. You get your target, he gets the obstacle, and everyone's happy. And if he says no, how many tables are in there? You just say, all right, nice meeting you, have a good one, as he sits alone at his table. Then you go to the next table. It's inevitable that you're going to be sitting at a table with a drink in your hand and the two-set split.
Nice.
Isn't that a good game plan?
No, that's actually really clever and really smart.